the heartbeat of the earth. The hands that give life its worth. With every step, they break new ground. Harvesting hope from all around. Through every season, through highs and lows. The untold journey, the heroes grow. Harvest heroes, rising strong. Building tomorrow all day long.
Hello, guys. Hello, guys. Welcome to Harvest Hero Podcast episode 15. It is just so amazing to have our faithful listeners always listening to our podcast, sharing, commenting, liking, and all the messages you're sending to me, guys. It's just amazing. We came to this special episode with very special guests, our country coordinator from Malawi, Daddy will be joining us on board. But if you just joined the live, make sure you write your name, where you're listening us from in the comment section. We would love to hear from you guys, and we would love to interview you too. We want to interview everybody. Everybody has a chance to come and be a voice and speak at this wonderful podcast. Thank you so much, our faithful listeners. Thank you for the messages we are receiving everywhere about how they are able to connect and do great things. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Without wasting time, let's welcome our guest of today, Mr. Emmanuel from Malawi. Welcome, Mr. Emmanuel.
Thanks, Susie, for welcoming me to this podcast.
Thank you. It's a pleasure for us to have you. So, without wasting time, let's get into the question and answer session. So, the first question we have for you, can you please tell us what domain are you working in?
In Malawi, the current work that I'm working on is on helping farmers in terms of their livestock, where I'm offering veterinary services to dairy farmers, even local chicken farmers. So aside from that, I also work with some organization whenever they want to, especially to develop an idea in terms of the problem that they have found in their community. So, but my main focus is putting food on the table. I think it's SDA number 2, which is zero hunger. Thank you.
Wow. Wow, that is just so amazing. Zero hunger, guys. We are going for hunger around the world. So, our next question is, can you share a little bit about your background and how you got started in the veterinary field?
Thank you so much. The interest in veterinary field started with I grew up with a woman, my late maternal mother, who used to keep different kind of livestock except cattle. So as a young kid, I was so attached to raising these kind of livestock. So because of that, despite that my college or university days, I had to go for humanities because I was not selected to pursue it at university level. So after working for so long, I realized that my passion, my inner desire is to be with animals, love nature. So because of that, when the opportunity came after, I think 10 years after doing university degree, I had to go back for diploma course in veterinary science. So that one, because my sister also saw that despite that I had the opportunity to work with different kind of organization, but I had that passion of doing crop production and at the same time livestock production. I have raised chickens using organic plants, using organic herbs. So this one allowed me to go back to school to understand the other ideas or knowledge that I lacked. So that's the background that I can easily say to you and to listeners. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing with us on your background and in your field. So our the next question we have for you is, what inspired you to go to veterinary service? And you talked about it earlier, that your passion, but what was really that moment that said, oh, you know what, I am definitely doing veterinary service?
Thank you so much. I saw that because I'm someone who is coming from the rural area where most of the services that people require are not offered. Yet, even though it's a rural setting, these farmers have the financial muscle at least to pay for the services. So I realized that because I had the opportunity of going around with the different kind of organization within Malawi, I saw that I have that connective community engagement with farmers and households. Therefore, I could offer myself as a service provider at the same time a helper in terms of boosting their economic livelihood. So these things are the real roots that pushed me harder despite my area my area zeal towards local chicken production. So this is what has pushed me to go back to learn about veterinary services and be a relevant authority within this Malawi, then Africa, because I have the background of being born in Zimbabwe. So that
Wow.
also helps me because I also saw it that even in Zimbabwe, people are lacking such kind of services. The people centered kind of veterinary services. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing with us about your veterinary journey. Our next question is what is one of the biggest challenge you faced when you started in the veterinary field? You said you started your studies. So what is one of those biggest challenge you faced at the beginning of your decision?
The biggest challenge was to be dismissed that I already have a degree and other relevant papers that can help or support me when I get a job. So uh, to me, I realize that most of the times we forget things that makes us happy. So despite that I have this burning desire, I have faced like being humiliated that maybe I've lost my mind. I don't know what I'm doing. So because it's something that is coming inside a person's heart, I realized that I can block these kind of negative speeches from my are the most they I can put it in a nutshell that the most difficult thing is to know what you want in life
Wow, the most
and how
difficult
can
thing.
you be uh, eh, yes, what do you want in life despite all the connection that you have, either family, community, and the world. What do you really want as a person? That makes you happy. That helps you not to be mentally sick because I know I suffered some mental issues some time back. So because I was not connected to what makes me happy, which is being closer to animals in the environment and doing research, finding solutions. So these are the most difficult thing in veterinary services because we are facing the same. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. Guys, look for things that actually makes you happy, that helps you. Let it be mentally. The question is, let it be mental, let it be physical support, anything that makes you happy. Look, go to the domain that inspire you for your future. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. It was very inspiring, and thank you for sharing your story with us too. So our next question is, what has been like who or what has been very influential in shaping your journey in the veterinary field?
Thank you so much. I believe one of the most influential thing has been the realization that I could offer better services to those who are around me who are requiring such kind of services. For example, in terms of chicken farmers, dairy farmers, and at the same time, even those who are keeping dogs in cats. So uh, uh, the person that has inspired me to go for this has been my sister Grace, because she saw that I think I'm gifted in these things of um, agriculture, despite the background of being someone who did humanities. So she tried to talk me through after she realized that maybe I'm losing my mind, I'm losing my track, and I'm wasting my talent. So she has been there supporting and guiding. And at the same time, I should be thankful to you, Susie, because you have been someone who has been like a sister, a mother at the same time, because despite the challenge that we have been crashing here and there because of different the way we see things, you keep on insisting that I should do things that I like. I should do. I should be in the Agricodeexpo. So already I have the background of being inspired by women, and then I met you again. So I think this is what I can say currently.
Thank you so much for that. And guys, nobody should tell you you can do any domain. If you want to do something, go for it. And we're always here to support you, no matter the way we think. We think thinking different is natural. We are not born the same. We are not born in the same environment. So we turn to think differently, but we are still all one. Our next question is what is the piece of advice you wish you had when you started in the veterinary service?
I wish I had someone like either a mother figure who also went through this, because I'm the first generation in our family. No one has ever done this of going for a science course in terms of veterinary services. And even my late dad never went for this. So it's as if I'm my own mentor in this. But I wish I had someone that could tell me more about this. So it's a learning process, but it's an exciting one.
It is a learning process, but it's an exciting one. We are so happy for you going to this new adventure and doing what you actually love. It's such a pleasure to hear that. Our next question is what has been your proudest or biggest accomplishment so far?
There are so many, but I will mention one. Um, One of the proudest moment is when I was selected out of 98 students. I was selected to go for to do veterinary clinic management. Uh, to me, I think it's a grace from God, because
Is
I'm not someone who passes with flying colors in class. There are some students who are better off than me in terms of either people management and even in academics. But I realized that it has been the grace of God that I could go to learn about surgery before even learning the theoretical part. So while there at surgery, my proudest moment was to participate in doing what we call ovariohectomy, which is the removal of ovary and uterus of dogs, and successfully did it as if I have already learned about surgery. So that one was one of the best things that I could do. I, that keeps me going and keeps me to love this and to know that I think anything can be done.
wow,
Thank you.
definitely. You are definitely gifted in that domain. And it is so good to see that you actually work in the domain in which you're gifted. It makes things so easy because
Yeah.
you like it. Our next question is can you describe like a pivotal moment in your life? Because you said you just recently joined the veterinary services. So can you describe that moment that made you say, I am definitely going to veterinary service right now? I am not wasting any more time. So how was that moment like?
Okay. Uh, I would say the opportunity to go for the veterinary services came, Grace saw the opportunity. It was and then had to write to me. That time I was busy doing irrigation farming. I did carrot farming and even bean production. So uh, she insisted that we should meet. So when we meet, she was the one who said, "You know, my brother, you know about animals, even though you have not gone for such kind of courses of animal production. So there is this opportunity. Can you go for it? Because once you learn about it, I think you can become someone who is really helpful to Malawi, not only to our family but to Malawi and to yourself again." So this I delayed close to 4 days before the actual date of providing the final day of application. So she insisted that I should meet her at her workplace. When I went there, she helped me through that I should complete the application, and she had to send someone because she never believed that I could go for this because I was denying to go back to school after spending another 4 years at university. So um, I think that's what I can say.
Wow, wow, that is so amazing. That really, guys, somebody can hold your hand and walk you through it, and you can change your life forever in your domain. So, our next question we have for you is: what are some common misconceptions people have about veterinary services in Malawi? I know there is a lot of misconception when it comes to like veterinary service.
Okay, yeah, that's true. There are so many misconceptions, but one of it is it's a career that it's not well known. So because it is not well known, people believe that you are just wasting your time because you end up being in a completely rural village. You see, so as a young people, usually most of our ideas is to live a wealthy life where we should be in town, not in a village where there are no electricity. So what I can say is, even though there may not be electricity, but we know the world has changed where there are solar powers. So electricity can be everywhere. And recently, I think the United States government, there's US compact in which the United States government has helped Malawi to do a rural electrification project where even in rural villages,
Wow,
uh, there should be electricity. So because of that, I think veterinary services, despite receiving little attention in terms of as a nation, as in terms of agriculture, but it plays a greater role because recently there has been issues of antimicrobial resistance, and it is because people eat animal protein. So if we don't invest time in terms of our resources in veterinary, understanding why is it so crucial that we should have dedicated veterinary officers, then uh, we should be brace ourselves in terms of seeing most hospitals being flooded by people who are sick because of the antimicrobial resistance.
wow,
So
wow, which
these
is
are the things that I've noticed in Malawi.
wow, this is very, very interesting and important because no, being from Cameroon myself, I know veterinary service where I was staying because I raise chicken. A lot of people don't know that I actually raise chicken, and we had to go to the veterinary like a certain period of month, like this once a month. There's like the new the little chicks. You have to give them a vaccine in the water. They're
Yes,
doing at a certain
yeah.
period and all this. So we always had to go and get it from the veterinary service. And yes, yes. So veterinary, it was a big thing. because I was in the city, it was a big thing, and you really have to go through all of that. But in the rural areas, it's not really a thing. That is why I came on and asked that, like, what are some challenges you're facing in the rural areas with this domain? And our next
Yeah.
question is, what is next for you? What are you planning in your life and accomplishing in the upcoming years?
Thank you so much. Currently, what I've done is I had opportunity to develop a certain training manual for rob and advocacy for one of the um, well-functioning dairy industries in Malawi, which is called Central Region Central Region Milking Producer Association, called CREMPA. They asked me that I should develop a lobby and advocacy leaders in Malawi to help them in their cause. So when they paid me from my work, what I've done is I bought some
Wow, this was this amazing, amazing. Guys, we had an amazing guest today.
They are the heartbeat of the earth. They are the heartbeat of the earth.
next project is to intensify in terms of connection with the um, pet owners, like those who are keeping dogs and the cats, at the same time working with farmers, because we are about to receive rains during November, December, January. So most of the times it's the time when most of the livestock like goats, sheep, even um, cattle suffer from parasites like worms. So I would wish to connect with more farmers so that they can help them in terms of their uh, providing veterinary services within their farms and helping them to prepare for the coming season, because they usually lose a lot of uh, livestock. So to prepare for that, I already engaged close to 3 chiefs so that I can work with them.
Wow.
As someone who is coming from the royal family too, so I'm trying to engage more so that I can help. Uh, Through that, I've already bought some albendazole, which is used for worming the animals. At the same time, ivermectin. In the other, I've also bought a thermometer, because these are the things that we need in terms of veterinary services. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing with us all your future projects. And yes, guys, he just made a call to action. Join him if you're in Malawi. Make sure you join him in this movement. Thank you, guys. We came to the end of this episode. Guys, this is episode 15 of Harvest Hero Podcast. Thank you to our faithful listeners listening to us around the world, sending us messages and likes and subscribing to our YouTube channel and LinkedIn and Facebook. Thank you so much, guys. You're doing amazing. You're the best listeners around the world. So we came to the end of this episode. Make sure you like, guys. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you contact us so that we can invite you as a guest in this wonderful podcast. We come to the end of episode 15. Bye, guys. Thank you.
They are the heartbeat